From Dewpoint Industries. So excited to have you on board. Welcome to the Flooring Africa's Online Flooring Expo.
Thanks, Barry. Thanks, Belinda. It's great to be a part of this. And just thank you very much for inviting me.
We are absolutely passionate about saving floors. It's one of our core values as an organization, and that's why we use the hashtag saving floors. What is your view on the culture in the flooring industry of not caring enough, perhaps, around protecting floors on site?
That's a very good question, Melinda. It's a hard one because I don't think any builder doesn't care. I think I've been on a lot of sites, and when you see the builder's reaction to subcontractors and workers on site doing things that they're not supposed to do on their new floors, you can see this builder really cares about it. But I think the real problem or challenge is just that they're not aware of what's out there that they can actually use that works. I think industry has been making their own plans, trying to create something to protect floors, and it's not worked all the time. Maybe they've given up a little bit. And the other thing is it's a very competitive industry. They have to tender on projects, and a lot of the times floor protection isn't included in the bill of quantities or in those tenders. So for them to get the job, they've got to tender accurately.
I've been in the flooring industry for nearly my entire career, and I've seen and done myself in my early days, I will admit, that you put these floors down and you try and make a plan and you try and threaten like tar and feathering to anybody who walks across your floors, and they don't follow the due process. But so often I come across floors that are damaged post installation or post those final coatings, and so much money is lost. And it's amazing how construction companies can find the budget to do a remedial post damage, but yet they can't find that little bit to start with to safeguard the problem from occurring in the first place. And that's why I really wanted to explore your products and to explore your philosophy in this interview, because I so love these products. I've seen them overseas, and I was super excited to see that they're now landing here in South Africa. What kind of products do you have in your bouquet at the moment with regards to the flooring?
The protective board range, that's by far our most exciting product range. It's mainly a craft type product, and it's been specifically designed for the construction industry to protect floors and to withstand, our harsh environments and working conditions. And, when we came up with this product, there's a couple of main things that we knew we needed to keep in mind. And that was, the product has to be easy to use. We don't have time to learn how to use new stuff on site. Things happen so fast on site. So the builders in the construction industry is looking for something that they can buy, get to site, roll out and use. And they want to be able to give it to anybody on site to do. No special skills required. And then one of the other main things was cost effectiveness. It had to be cost effective, something that fits the budget. Because the industry is so competitive, we had to design something that doesn't cost 100 rand a square, or almost the same price as the flooring. And those were the things that we were very mindful of. There are products out there that's brilliant, but it really doesn't justify the cost at the end of the day. And I think we've managed to get that balance right. So our protective board, we have 3 products there. We've got the extra heavy duty one, and then we've got the normal one, and then we've got the one that we started out with that has a plastic film type barrier on the top, and that just really gives it that extra moist and liquid protection.
So I've been exposed that you've got a couple of some of my favorite brands like Bestwood, Barry Solomon, and he's also got some of your product. And there's also Oggy and Village Projects. I think they use your product. And so your product is suitable to go over like a real wood, which still needs to be able to breathe.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah. So we've also got some epoxy and concrete flooring clients, and to cure, for their products to still cure, it needs to breathe, the same as with the wooden floors. So yeah, our product allows the vapor to release.
And this is not like just your normal brown paper that I'd use to wrap my kids' school books in. You know, it's not like the fish and chips brown paper that, you know, because I know some people are going to say, yeah, man, but I can get that at X, Y, and Z. And you've got a very specific composition to your paper.
That's right. Yes. No, it's not just your usual craft paper that you can buy in the stationery shop. Is a little bit more technology, that went into designing this product. Yes. So, one of the things that's impregnated in the material when they create it is like it's not a waterproofing. It has a moist resistance. So moist will still be absorbed by it, but it won't seep through and make it all mushy and destroy and break the product down. So the product will still keep its integrity even though water's gotten onto it.
And you mentioned easy to install or use and cost effectiveness. As a layperson, what does that mean in terms of a job, planning for a job? How does cost effectiveness look like in terms of your product?
If you budget on 20 Rand a square meter installed, you in the safe area. That'll include the tape that you need to use, your labor, depending on obviously the level of labor, the skill of labor that you use. But around about 20 to 22 or 50, depending on how much you want to protect and how good you are with the product. Obviously in the beginning there'll be some wastage, but as you get used to using the product, you'll work with it a lot smarter. You'll figure out that you can actually use a lot of the offcuts, and it's just a very very practical and versatile product. So you don't just have to use it on floors. You can use it on stairs. You can use it on countertops. Just a very versatile product to use.
A bit more about the background of Dewpoint Industries and you, and how you've come into this game and industry. Can you give us some more insight as to you, the people behind this fantastic initiative?
The owner of Dewpoint Industries, John DeRoy, he started a few years back, and he's a real entrepreneur. He started off with a product called Glass Coat. He mainly focused on products in the glass industry, innovative products for the glass industry. So it was products that you can use to color glass with, and then we had some protective peelable coatings that looks like a paint that you can paint onto glass and then protect the glass. We ended up going into the protective tape industry as well, and that's really where we realized that there's a massive demand for protection products in the building and the construction industry. So yes, we started off on the glass side of things, and we realized that there's a gap in the rest of the construction industry, and that all happened about 5-6 years ago. And then myself, I come out of a logistical background. I also worked for overseas removal companies where we were protecting like furniture and fine art, statues and that type of stuff. So protection of products is kind of, my background. And we have got some experience in, so it's almost a natural flow for me to have gotten into this industry for protecting houses and building projects and floors and stuff like that. So it's very exciting and a very interesting industry.
It almost sounds like a no-brainer when you can say that, I can protect the product per square meter at like a 3 or 5% of the overall square meter rate, and I can safeguard time, labor, product materials, and then also potential remedials of trying to uplift the floor, which then impacts substrates and other elements or fixings on top of these floors. I really would love to see a lot more of the industry take up these kind of products, because we could save so much more resources and direct them to better return on investment. So really, really exciting.
But also relationships, working relationships of the builder with the clients, with the professionals, protecting those relationships as well. I mean, one of our biggest feedbacks, or most feedbacks, is that the clients, when they walk into their houses and they see that the builder is taking the time to protect the floors that they paid for adequately, it just fills them with confidence and really just lifts the builder up in the eyes of the client, if that makes sense.
So that just like totally leads into how endorsing and supporting professional craftsmen in their trades within the industry. And when you come in and you've got these products that are protected and cared for with passion and pride, that just supports that whole initiative and chain, which is something that we believe very strongly in.
Obviously, we're all in a crisis at the moment with COVID-19 and lockdown. What words of advice have you got for the industry, people who are struggling, trying to work out what to do, customers worrying? What sort of thoughts have you had that you'd like to share with the flooring community?
Actually, jot down the things that you want to do. I go and I sit down weekly and I write down what are the things that I want to accomplish for this week. I'm not a very organized person per se, but I find that if I don't do that, I'm even more disorganized. So that just helps me to keep focused, and I don't make a massive list. I'm realistic, so I try and keep that list short and specific, and then I'll just quickly glance over it when I get distracted and go, oh yes, okay, stick to the list. And that's been one of the things that's been just keeping me focused and sane in this time. And then I'm just trying to also have fun and not focus too much on the negative, having chats with friends that I don't get to talk to that much anymore, like trying out new things like this. This is exciting, and so this is great. To have the time to do this is great. So I would say just go out and learn some new stuff.
Thank you so much to yourself and your team at Dewpoint Industries. We're really excited to have you on board, and we appreciate you stepping up into this new experience of this online flooring expo. And we look forward to exploring more of your products in depth in time. And all the best for you and your team for the remainder of the lockdown.
Thank you very much, guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.